Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Silvia, and in today's video I'm actually going to share with you my plant-based journey. So if you want to know why I got into a plant-based lifestyle, what changes happened in my life after following this certain diet, or if I still follow a plant-based diet, just keep on watching. So I got really cozy in my bedroom because this is story time and I hope you will enjoy it. First and foremost, 3.5 years ago, I got diagnosed with breast cancer stage 3. If you have not watched my cancer story, I'm gonna link it right here so you can go ahead and watch it. But about 3.5 years ago, I got the bad news, right? I got diagnosed with breast cancer. I was in complete shock. My husband and I, my family, everyone was so shocked because I was considered to be quite healthy. What I mean by that, I was working out every single day. I was eating a clean diet. So, you know, from the outside, it looked like my life was pretty healthy, or at least I had a healthy lifestyle. So of course I knew I had to do a big change in my life. I gave up the stress. I tried to, you know, do a lot of healing and introspection, and I did a lot of therapy. But then I also knew I had to change something about my diet. Like I said, I thought I was eating quite healthy, so I didn't know how to grab it, but I knew I had to do something about it. This is a time when I came across Chris's channel, Chris Beats Cancer, here on YouTube. He has a whole program. I bought his book, I bought his program. Then, of course, getting into, you know, reading about healing yourself, I did so much research and I came across the Gerson therapy, which is one of the hardest healing therapy out there. I mean, for me, it was quite hard, even though I didn't do it 100%, because what I did was a combination of Gerson therapy and Chris's protocol. This was my beginning. This is how God had opened up my eyes to a different possibility, because I knew I was about to get chemotherapy. I knew how intense the treatment would be, so I knew I had to take care of my body. And honestly, I do believe that the side effects of chemotherapy weren't as harsh on me, even though the treatment was extremely harsh. It was one of the most aggressive type of chemotherapies. And I think this is because of my diet, and this is because of my plant-based lifestyle. And what I mean by that is going into a full plant-based diet, eating all these healthy foods, mostly raw, it was actually nourishing my body. It was fueling every single cell in my body. So in my mind, what I was putting in my body was really important. I start reading about it, and there's so many testimonials out there, and here on YouTube too, you can actually look up. There's so many videos about people healing themselves through food or with food and alternative therapies. And so I started believing in that, and I prayed so much, and I felt like God had like sent this to me, and this was my path, and this was my journey, and this had to be my journey in healing myself. So I knew I had to put in the work. I knew I had to do something to help my body heal and to help my body go through that process. And so I start juicing. I had no idea what I was doing. I had a Breville old juicer, like plasticky, nothing fancy. I was getting a lot of foam in my juices too, but I did not care. I wanted to juice everything and anything that's out there. And so I started juicing mostly vegetables. So I would juice celery and parsley and cucumbers and apples, and then I would juice beets and carrots, and I tried to juice as much as I could every single day. So basically, to break it down for you, I would start my day with a fully charged oatmeal. And what I mean by that is you add everything to your oatmeal, a bunch of antioxidants like blueberries, all kinds of berries, then walnuts, some sort of fat, walnuts, almonds, whatever, and then flax seeds, chia seeds, everything, right? And you eat that for breakfast, and that will last, and then I will juice some more, or I will do a smoothie, and my juices were like 28 ounces at least, and then same thing with my smoothie. Then for lunch I would have big green salad, which is the cancer fighting salad from his protocol. I'm not sponsored by Christ or anything, or I'm not promoting him by any chance. This is what I did, this is the path I took, and this is what I believed in, so that's why I'm here to share it with you, and this is what helped me. And so for lunch I would have this huge salad that was, again, it's called the cancer fighting salad, so it has all the greens in the world, or all the vegetables that you can think of. It has mixed greens, it has broccoli, cauliflower, green onions, cabbage, carrots, sauerkraut for your gut health, probiotics, broccoli sprouts, any type of sprouts, then again some flax seeds, walnuts. It is huge and it's amazing. Everything is so hard and you have to choose so much, but it's actually so good because you're getting all those enzymes from the juice, from all those vegetables you're chewing. It is fantastic. So I would have a huge salad for lunch, and then for dinner I would have the same huge salad with some sort of baked sweet potatoes or baked potato, or sauteed mushrooms, or something cooked. So it was mostly raw, and then for dinner you will have, you know, something cooked. And I have to say, this was the time when I felt the healthiest in my life, following that lifestyle and following that diet. But again, I didn't feel like it was a diet. I felt like I was meant to eat this way, and we are meant to eat this way. I lost a lot of weight, but this was due to chemotherapy and also my diet, but I felt so healthy. I loved this lifestyle. I felt like I was eating super good. I didn't even care for anything else. It was so important what I was putting in my body, and that I didn't really have any cravings. I didn't care for chocolate, I didn't care for cake. I started looking at food this way, like, is this gonna benefit my body? Is this gonna fuel my cells? Or is this gonna just fill my taste buds and make me happy for a second and make my brain happy for a second? This is how I was. I was very, very determined. I was very, very ambitious. I just had a goal and I knew I had to follow this route. So then I got pregnant, and this was the most beautiful time of my life. It was the best time. I loved being pregnant. I had such an easy pregnancy. I did not swell up. I was not sick one day. I did not throw up. I didn't have morning sickness. I was able to work throughout my pregnancy all the way to the end. I was working out. I just didn't even feel pregnant, besides the fact that I felt that I'm growing a human inside of me. Other than that, I had no other symptoms. I loved being pregnant. But when I got pregnant, I started having all these cravings, and not necessarily of meat. I was getting cravings of, my biggest craving throughout my pregnancy was French fries. Or potatoes, honestly, not necessarily French fries, potatoes. Because when you follow a plant-based diet and you follow a healthy plant-based diet, French fries are not an option, especially restaurant French fries, because they do use that oil again and again and again. It's an inflammatory oil too, because they're not gonna make your French fries with avocado oil, and so they're not the healthiest, right? So for me, French fries were out of the cards, especially when I was sick. When I got pregnant, oh my god, there was this restaurant that I would drive by every time I would go to do a job in a specific location in Cape May, because I am a hair and makeup, a bridal specialist, so I do weddings, and most of my weddings are down the shore. So every time I would go and have a wedding in that area, I will drive by this Greek restaurant, and their food is amazing. And they have this pita bread. It's a wrap basically, so they have all these like amazing veggies in there: lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, red onions, roasted red peppers, hummus, and everything is wrapped into this pita bread, which is freshly made in-house. And also it comes with like the big fat French fries. Oh my god. Okay, at first I would just get the pita bread with a salad. But then the more I would just go in there, I'll get the pita bread with French fries. And this was my treat when I was pregnant. It was the best meal while I was pregnant. But it was just so good. So I gave in. While I was pregnant, I gave in and I would get the pita bread with French fries. Once in, a while, not every week. But I will just have it like once a month, probably. It's so funny because my son, he is obsessed with potatoes. He hasn't had French fries just yet because he's 15 months, but he is obsessed with potatoes because, like I said, I do eat a lot of potatoes at home. So I make them in air fryer. He loves the ones in air fryer. He's obsessed with those. Then I bake them, then I boil them, then I puree them, then I smash them, the whole shebang. So he is obsessed with them too. And then what I got into, I honestly, doing all my blood work and whatnot, I was never missing anything. Like, my blood work looked impeccable while I was pregnant. I remember at the beginning, I was a little bit low in iron. This is what happened in the first trimester with anybody. But then I had like a little bit of iron supplement for a week. And everything went back to normal, and then I started juicing again, and then I did my smoothies with a little bit more spinach, and my iron never dropped since. So this was the only thing that I had issues with. Other than that, I was not missing omegas, I wasn't missing anything. But another craving kicked in, and this was seafood or fish. I remember the very first time I had salmon, it was like, oh my god. Where have you been all my life? So I started eating a little bit of fish here and there. I think I had like, throughout my whole pregnancy journey, fish like maybe 5 times, right? So nothing big. And it didn't hurt me. Now, is it something that I really, really crave and I really need to have in my body because I'm missing omegas? A big no. But I wanted to eat it. It was just more of a preference. I was like, why would I restrict myself? It's not gonna hurt my body. It's not gonna do any harm. So why would I restrict myself? When you are on a mission, right? When you juice hardcore, when you do coffee enemas, when you eat mostly raw, you are healing, but also you're putting a lot of stress on yourself with all the cleaning, washing the vegetables, chopping all those vegetables for, putting them into your juicer, then cleaning the juicer out, then cooking every single day. And I still cook every single day because this is fresh produce we're talking about. It is exhausting, and at one point I was like, listen, I am on a healing journey. I feel like this is putting a lot of stress on myself. I started looking at food more like, I know this is a way of healing my body, but this is not the only way. Being plant-based didn't really save me 100%. It was my belief, it was my faith, it was the fact that I eliminated stress in my life, the fact that I gave up something that I wasn't comfortable or happy with anymore. This is what helped me heal, not just being vegan. And actually, if you watch that documentary, I hope they still play it on Netflix. It's called Heal. There's actually one testimonial in there. This lady, she had been vegan for all her life, mostly raw vegan, and still got cancer. So I didn't want to look at it as like something that is a religion for me. Oh my god, I believe in this lifestyle so much that if I don't follow it to a T, it's gonna get me sick or cancer will come back. I start being a little bit more open-minded. I start enjoying life a little bit, and this is what happened. This is what happened when I got pregnant. I was so happy and I wanted to enjoy my life, and I felt so healthy again. I felt like I was nourishing my body, even though everybody was worried, like, oh my god, you're still eating this way, how is your baby gonna get all his nutrients, blah 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 blah. I didn't care because I felt so healthy, and guess what, at the end my baby was almost 9 pounds, being plant-based mostly, like 99% of the time, and those 5 times when I had salmon, right? So I never look of what other people say, and I try to do my own thing. But again, I try to be a little bit more open about, what is out there. So now I do eat fish once in blue moon if I have a craving, or if we go to a restaurant, they have a wild caught fish with veggies and whatnot, no butter, no nothing. I don't eat dairy. I don't think I will ever eat dairy or cheese. No, because cheese is one of the worst things out there besides meat. No meat. I don't care for red meat. Chicken grosses me out. Am I fully plant-based? No, not anymore. Not 100%, not hardcore as I was. I still do raw till 4. I still eat really clean. I still try to eat without a lot of oils. I do use a little bit of oil now. I do eat some processed food. But again, I try to be a little bit more open-minded and look at it as enjoying life. Not that being on a plant-based diet, like a super healthy and clean plant-based diet, is not about enjoying life. It totally is. And honestly, following a plant-based diet, it can only benefit you. I have nothing bad to say about this lifestyle because it's truly beneficial. It's truly amazing for your body. My skin looked amazing. I felt amazing. And not that right now I don't. Right now I do feel amazing, but I am a little bit more open. Would I be like this forever? I don't know. Would I go back to being fully plant-based? I mean, my days are like that. Like, I have fish once in blue moon. It is not something that I eat, you know, every single day. Or like once a week. It's not like that. So honestly, following a plant-based diet could only benefit you. I still love it. But now I have introduced a little bit of fish. So yeah, this has been my journey. I highly recommend you try at least a couple days a week to eat plant-based fully, like from morning till you go to bed. Try to have a plant-based diet. Try to replace that chicken with tofu. Love tofu. Get non-GMO organic tofu if you can, because that's the best. Get at least 4 or 5 servings of fruit and veggies every single day, and I promise you will definitely feel better. I'm not, you know, telling you to go plant-based overnight, but I did that and it worked for me, and it kept me sane throughout my chemotherapy, throughout my cancer journey, and it kept me motivated. So I love being plant-based. This is part of me right now, and it is my lifestyle. It's not a diet. I find being a plant-based, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.